Hi friends, I hope you're doing well. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Allie. I'm the founder of RAVIE Beauty and an everyday makeup artist. Today we're going to be diving into a bunch of new makeup that I've received in PR. A couple of these things I purchased myself. Most of it is PR. A lot of it I've actually seen a lot of hype around and it's made me excited to try it. So we're going to dive in. We're going to do almost a full face of new products. I'm finally going to be trying out some of the POV Beauty skincare. I'm also going to be trying out a new foundation from Lawless. We've got an About Face powder that I've been hearing really good things about. Benefit's new Cream Hoola bronzer, which I'm excited about. A new palette from Sigma. The new One Size Beauty Powder Melt Glass Setting Spray. There are so many things that I've been seeing all over the internet that I'm ready to try. And obviously, it's always so fun to try out new products, but I'm gonna try to figure out of all these, not only what's good, but what I feel like is gonna work its way into my everyday routine. So let's just get right into it. We're gonna start off with the POV Beauty products. So things sold out really quickly when they launched. I think they're restocking soon. I've got three things that I'm going to try today. First, we've got this POV Nourishing Glow Serum. Now, if you didn't know, this is Michaela. You guys all know Michaela from TikTok though. And she launched with skincare. So we're going to start off with this Smoothing Hydrating Glassy Serum. It's got a nice little dropper on it. Let's do a little bit of this. My skin needs skincare. I purposefully didn't put anything on after I washed my face and I feel like my skin needs some hydration. So we're gonna put on this serum first. Feels very lightweight, feels nice. I feel like with skincare, it obviously takes me more than a first impressions to really figure out if I like it or not. Next, we're gonna moisturize the skin with the POV Hydrating Whipped Cream. One of the coolest things about this is you twist it and then it reveals the little spatula, and then you continue to twist it and it opens up the cream. I do think that's very innovative and it made me excited to try this. I feel like I always lose my little spoons, my moisturizer spoons. Ooh, it's quite whipped. That looks really nice. I'm actually just gonna use my finger. I don't know if that's sanitary, but I wanted to take some off of the lid, so we're just gonna do about that much. And let's work this into the skin. This also has a very nice lightweight texture. It doesn't have fragrance, which is great. It feels really good. I'm gonna bring that down the neck. It almost has like a cooling sensation to it, which is nice. And then last but not least, I have this right here. Now this is the Amplifying Lip Ampule. Oh, nice. Has a nice silicone applicator. But this is supposed to have, let's see, Last and Glow technology. All right. And a mango bingsu flavor. I like the texture. It's nice and thick, which I like especially when prepping the lips for makeup. All right, everything so far feels nice. Obviously with skincare, we need to give it more than just our first impressions to really see how it works, but it feels really nice on the skin. Next, we're gonna try a new primer from BODYOGRAPHY. This is the Radiant Glow Primer. I was recently sent this. It has niacinamide in it. It's a multitasking hydrating primer that grips onto makeup for long wear and adds a subtle ethereal glow with light reflecting particles that blur imperfections and add radiance to the skin. And then the niacinamide helps to brighten over time. It has a slight peachy bronze tint to it, but I'm sure this will blend in as I apply it all over. So let's go ahead and focus this on kind of the outside of the face. The texture is really nice. It's almost like a gel texture. It slightly tints my skin tone because I'm so pale, but you're mostly left with a nice kind of golden sheen. It layered on top of that moisturizer nicely as well. Okay. I definitely feel like I can see it, but it's not sparkly, which I actually really like. I don't want my primers to be super sparkly. It just is glowy. It also doesn't feel greasy, which is nice. Pretty. All right, we have a new foundation to try. I've heard really good things about this. It's from Lawless. It's their Forget the Filler Skin-Plumping Line Smoothing Foundation. Now, I had a couple of shades. I think this one's gonna be my best bet. This is the shade 1F. It's supposed to be plumping, smoothing, and nourishing, but a lot of people are liking this, so I really wanted to try it. It's a glass bottle with a pump. Very heavy feeling. I'm gonna give it a shake. We'll do about one pump on the back of my hand. And I'll use the Lawless foundation brush that they sent me with it. Let's take a bit of this off the back of my hand, and let's do one side of the face first, just so we can really see the coverage. I mean, there's coverage. Did you see that? Oh, this is really pretty. I don't know why, but I was almost expecting a thicker formula, but it's actually quite thin with a lot of pigment. So a little goes a long way. Let me just press this into the skin with my sponge. Oh my. Oh, that is pretty. It really looks so skin-like, but again, you get great coverage like you would in a proper foundation. I mean, here's the before, here's the after. You can really see how it evened everything out, but it feels so lightweight on the skin. Oh, that's really pretty. Let's apply the same foundation to the other side. It literally just erases all of my uneven pigmentation. I'm honestly shocked at how lightweight it feels. That is so pretty. And I feel like that shade works for me actually. I'm just gonna pat that in with my sponge. Well, I'm impressed with that. I really love how that looks. I did not expect to actually have that much of a reaction based off my first impressions. That much of a positive reaction, I should say. That looks really good. I'm excited to see how that wears. All right, next up we're gonna try the Benefit Hoola Cream Bronzer. You all know Benefit Hoola's bronzer is so iconic and it's been a staple in so many people's routines for a long time for a reason. They recently launched the Benefit Hoola Wave, which is the cream version of this. It is a bronzing balm. It looks a little deep for me, but we'll try to use a little bit less and hopefully it'll be fine. All right, they also sent like a little brush with it. So let's just use this brush and see how this goes. I'm gonna take it and put some on the back of my hand first just to evenly distribute it into the brush. And then let's tap this into the skin and see how it goes. I mean, the shade is definitely deeper and warmer than what I typically go for. But I think, you know, it seems like it's buildable and sheer enough to where it should work if I use a lighter amount. I'm gonna take this across the forehead, up into the hairline, and take what's left on the brush and go across the jaw and a little bit down the sides of the neck. I'm also taking some down the sides of the nose. I do like the warmth that this added. I'm not sure if I'm like blown away by the formula really, but it does look nice. I don't know. I just feel like I am used to a certain type of texture when it comes to my bronzer, and this is just a little bit different, which is not a bad thing. I don't know. That looks nice. I just can't tell if I'm like in love with it, like obsessed with it, you know? For concealer, I'm just going to go ahead and use my Tarte Creaseless Creamy Concealer, so this is not something new that we're trying today. I'm going to try to keep it to just the under eye area so that we can really see how like the foundation wears today. Next, we're going to try out a launch that I got so excited about. Now, these are some blushes that I actually picked up myself from Bobbi Brown. I bought two shades. I bought the shade Tea Rose and Peony. These are their new Pot Rouge Velvet Matte for lips and cheeks, and I'm so excited. They look like this, which I think the packaging is so cute. Here's the shade Peony, which is so pretty, and then here is the shade Tea Rose. I'll swatch both of them. Oh my gosh, they're completely moussey. Oh, I was not expecting such a mousse, but they're so moussey. I don't know, I was expecting like a little bit of a firmer texture. Those are so interesting. Whoa, very silicone feeling. So here's swatch, we have Peony and Tea Rose. How do I apply this? I'm gonna maybe take this blush brush that I've got. Let's dip into Tea Rose first. I'm gonna just tap this into the brush on the back of my hand so that it distributes evenly. And let's do Tea Rose kind of on like this outside portion of my cheeks. Okay, I actually do feel like this brush applies it nicely. It's so like sheer and whipped, like so moussey whipped. I feel like there's been a lot of hybrid kind of like cream to powder blushes. There's the Rare Beauty ones. I saw Kylie Cosmetics just launched one. This is very different than both of those. This is way more of a fluffy cream texture, but matte. I'm gonna take the shade Peony, which is that brighter pink. We're gonna do a little layer, and I'm gonna press that into the brush first, and then tap it onto the apples of the cheeks. I'm loving how blurring this looks on the skin, even though, you know, the texture is really different. It does leave that watercolor effect, which I look for in my products for every day especially. I wonder if this would be finger friendly though, because it's almost a thicker whip to where I would be nervous about it kind of moving my makeup around underneath if I didn't like use this pressing motion. But I don't know. I'm gonna tap a bit of that onto the forehead because I love a good sun-kissed forehead, and maybe a little on the chin. Okay, those are so interesting, and I do really like how it looks It's nice and blurring, very soft focus, which I do really like, but just such a different texture than what I personally anticipated. Okay, we're gonna try out a new loose powder now from About Face, and this is one that I've heard such good things about, so I've actually been really excited to try this. This is their new Curtain Call Set and Smooth Loose Powder. Now they sent me a few shades, but I'm gonna try out the shade Beau. I think that's like my best bet for just like a good everyday color. I'll show you the packaging. The lid is actually quite bulky. And let me take off this little seal. And then you do get a little sifter inside, which is nice. Let's try this out. I'm gonna take some on a small little brush. Make sure that there's no creases under my eyes, and let's go ahead and start by setting the under eye area. I honestly feel like that blush almost gave like a powder, a more setted finish. Is that a word? More set finish. But we're still gonna use this powder to set things anyway. Ooh, yeah, it's definitely very lightweight, which I like, and very blurring, which I also like. I love a good loose powder. For me, it's like a staple in my everyday routine. I'm gonna take a bit of a fluffier brush to just press that around the outsides of the face to lightly set. Okay, yeah, that's a very nice lightweight powder. I'm really liking how it looks so far. We'll see how it holds up throughout the day. All right, really quickly, I'm gonna fill in my brows. Today I'm gonna be using my Holy Grail from RAVIE Beauty. This is my Easy Everyday Brow Pencil, and I wear the shade Dark Brown. We just recently launched this pencil, and it is divine. It's so good. I love to switch up a lot of my routine, but when it comes to my brow routine, my products stay the same for years at a time. And this pencil I've been using for months straight, almost a year actually, this summer. Okay, brows are on. All is right in the world. I feel like when my brows are on, everything makes sense. I got sent this gorgeous Sigma Spectrum eyeshadow palette. And guys, I have not like dove into a new palette. I honestly haven't been using eyeshadow palettes really in general. But this one felt like something that could be a great everyday staple. So I really wanted to try it out today. Look at all these nice mattes. There's 5 different shimmers. I just felt like this was something that inspired me. So we're gonna try it out today. I'm gonna go in with this shade first. It's kind of matching my sweater. This is the shade Papyrus, and I'm gonna use that as my transition shade. I'm in like an eyeshadow mood today, which I literally don't remember the last time I did a proper eyeshadow look. How about you guys? Is eyeshadow something that like you wear every day? And I mean like an eyeshadow look, like with maybe 4 different colors, or are you like a one and done type person? I wanna know, what do you guys wear? Especially for every day. I just did a little bit of that same color along the lower lash line. I'm gonna deepen things up a little bit with the color underneath, which is called Wallflower. I'm gonna just apply that to like the outer portion of the lid, blending it into the crease a little bit. And same thing, I'm just gonna pinch that brush and apply it toward the outer third of that lower lash line. Next, I'm gonna deepen things up a little bit with this brown right here called Cornucopia. And I'm gonna kind of press that up against the lash line as a really buffed out shadow liner almost. Same thing on this side. I'm also gonna take what's left on that brush and go up against the lower lash line slightly as well. All right, now we're gonna choose one of the shimmers to kind of put all over the lid. Goodness, which one should I use? I feel like this one matches my sweater, so we're gonna do that one. It's called Spiced Peaches. Oh, wow. That looks so pretty. Let's apply that in like the center of the lid. Oh goodness, that's so nice. And then blend it to the outside to connect with the matte shades that we've already put down. Okay, I'm taking that first brush that we used, our initial transition shade, and just making sure that the lines are blended up toward the brow. Let's use a little bit of this color called Dune, which is a really pretty pearlescent shimmery shade, and I'm gonna just apply that kind of on this inner portion of the lid. Maybe a bit on the brow bone as well. Oh my gosh, I don't remember the last time I did like eyeshadow, but this is fun. Okay, I'm gonna take a little bit more of maybe Wallflower, and let's mix it actually with mohair. I just want a bit more dimension on this outer portion of the lid. You know, I'm remembering why I always do my eyeshadow first, because it's getting quite a bit messy all over my face, unfortunately. Especially the glittery shade. All right, we're gonna pop on some mascara. Let's see, today, let's use my Tarte mascara again. This is the Tartelette XL mascara. I want something a little more bold with an eyeshadow look, so I'm gonna layer this up quite a bit. Okay, now we're gonna wipe off any of the foundation that got on the lips. That POV Beauty lip stuff prepped my lips nicely. I do wanna use a little lip liner, and I actually haven't tried the Charlotte Tilbury lip contour lip liners in the shade medium. I tried the shade fair earlier and really loved it. But I want to try the shade medium because I bought that recently and just haven't had a chance to put it on. So we're gonna do the sculpting shade first, all around the lips. And then it does have another side that you can fill the lips in with. I'm gonna leave the center though because I really want to try out Pot Rouge on the lips since that's what they say you can do. It's so moussey. Okay, I'm gonna just tap a little bit of that on my fingers and then pop the shade Peony in the center of my lips for like a little bit of a bright. It actually does feel comfortable on the lips and it's very blurring as well. Okay, I have a lip gloss that I wanted to try from Pure Cosmetics. This is their new Glossy Lip Tint Plumping Tinted Lip Oil. They sent 4 shades. I think they launched with 4 shades, but I was especially drawn to the color Strawberry Sorbet. I just thought this was the prettiest, kind of cool toned pinky gloss. So, wow. Let's go ahead and apply this. Here's what this spatula looks like. I'm gonna focus this on like the center of the lips. And I don't know if it's plumping as in like tingly plumping or what. I'll keep you posted as it sits on my lips. It has a bit of a thicker texture, which I really like. Okay, I like that. I really like the combo I made today. Wow, okay, let's assess the situation. I'm gonna take a bit of what's left on my blush brush and just reapply over top of the powders. I think I have a little bit of the Peony shade left on this. Oh, I feel a little tingle now with the lip oil. So you will feel a slight plumping with this. Okay, before we set the brows, we're gonna go into one of the products that I'm the most excited to try today, the One Size Powder Melt Setting Spray. Now this is supposed to melt powdery finishes, refresh, hydrate, and brighten. It's supposed to like obviously set the makeup for all day wear, but it says it instantly transforms powdery makeup into a glass-like finish that lasts all day. Enhanced with ceramides and ginger flower water, this setting spray is clinically proven to extend the wear of makeup while improving radiance, texture, and moisture levels immediately and over time. So let's give this a whirl. I love the packaging actually. Here's what it looks like. Now you guys know that they have their other super long wear setting spray. This is like going to mattify extremely and make your makeup literally not move. This one is also supposed to set, but it's supposed to leave a little bit more of a glass finish onto the skin. Let's prime the pump. I'm gonna focus this mostly on the outsides of the face. So let's go ahead and spritz. Feels nice. I like the mister on it. We'll let that kind of sink in a bit. And then I always take my sponge and press the setting spray into the skin a little bit more. Do we see a glow? I do feel like it's kind of melted things in a little bit more. I mean, obviously a lot of my products are very moussey and matte today, so maybe it wouldn't be showing as glowy. No, I feel like as it sets though, you can really see a bit more of a glow. Feels nice, feels very refreshing. I'm excited to keep using this. I really love a good setting spray. All right, you guys, so here's the final makeup look, trying out so many new products. We're gonna wear this for the rest of the day, and I will tell you guys at the end of the night how things look, how things wore, and kind of give you my, opinions overall based off my first impressions today about what products I feel like are gonna be really great for every day specifically, or what things have really floored me, especially after we wear it. So it is currently 12:40 p.m. I'm gonna wear this for the rest of the day, and we'll see where things take us. Oh, I need to set my brows. Let me use my Rare Beauty brow gel really fast. I am not complete without a brow gel. Okay, now we're ready for our wear test. I'll see you guys in a little bit for my first check-in. Okay, before I get too carried away with my day, I wanted to come up and do a little natural light bathroom check. I feel like everything looks nice. I honestly haven't seen myself in like eyeshadow in a long time, but I wanted to show you guys how things look right after applying it, and we'll see how everything wears throughout the day. Okay, bye. All right, you guys, I am back in my studio. It is currently 11:25, so I've been wearing this for almost 11 hours. So let's take a look at everything going on here. Honestly, I feel like everything wore really well. I feel like for the foundation, I do notice that it just kind of looks like skin. And I know they said that like it's a plumping foundation, which is an interesting word to use for a foundation, but I do kind of feel like my skin feels or looks bouncy, and I'm assuming it's the foundation. My skin usually gets oily in the T-zone, so I'm not too concerned about what's happening there because that's very typical. But even where it's oily, the foundation did not break up. So I'm really actually impressed with how that wore, and I'm excited to continue to wear that. The blush I feel like is still there. It faded, you know, a little bit, but that's pretty typical with blushes. I will say when I looked at my complexion upstairs in natural light after filming, I felt like the bronzer shade was a little too deep for me. And I actually did go look, and they have several shades in this formula. So this is the original. They only sent me one, but they do have a light. So like there is an option if you're into or you wanted to try this formula. There are more shade options, I should say, because this one's just a little too deep for me right now. Let's chat about the POV products. Honestly, I feel like it prepped the skin really nicely. I feel like my skin was left very balanced. With skincare, it's going to take more than a first impressions to really figure out how my skin likes it. But as far as it being like good for makeup prep, I do think that it worked really well, and I really did like my complexion the most today. I feel like the powder also played a role in how just smooth my skin looked today, and everything just looked weightless. Nothing looks heavy, which I really like. I feel like it's the combo of the foundation and the powder, maybe the skincare as well. The complexion looked good to me. Like everything looked really, really nice. Let's see, the eyeshadow palette, I feel like it's such a nice staple palette. But it is $65. I saw that after I filmed the first portion of this video, which, you know, I feel like I spend that on a lot of different eyeshadow palettes, but I spend, you know, just a couple dollars more on a Natasha Denona palette. So, you know, I feel like this is a good one to have if you're a makeup artist. The colors are going to be something that you're, you know, going to reach for basically every single color, at least for me. So I do think it's a really nice palette. I liked my eyeshadow look today, but it's kind of just one of those things where it's up to you to know if you would like to spend that much on a palette like this, especially since it's mostly matte shades. But I do think it's nice. Let's see, what else did we try? The lip liner, I really do like these lip liners. I will say they just don't have that much longevity. They wore off pretty much immediately after I filmed that first portion. I did eat lunch, but it was like completely off my lips. So, you know, I wouldn't recommend these for longevity, but they sure do make a nice lip combo. I really loved the color of this gloss, or like lip oil. This also came off pretty quickly, but it was very hydrating, and I loved the color. So I was happy about that as well. I also feel like something that contributed to the nice complexion must have been this powder melt setting spray. I feel like it looks really nice on the skin. I'm gonna have to keep using it. I'm not sure if it tops the Fenty one right now for me. That one's like a very different setting spray than this one, in my opinion. This one has a little bit more of that glass skin finish. The Fenty one is more of like a staple basic setting spray. But I'm excited to continue to play with this, and maybe next time apply a little bit more and like see how glass skin like my skin can be if I really go overboard with this or like spray a lot. But I love the packaging, and I really liked how it, you know, applied. The Bodyography primer I thought was really pretty. I'm not sure if I'm like floored by it yet. I mean, it must have contributed to the complexion though. And I feel like it worked well with the foundation, which was nice. These Bobbi Brown blushes are definitely like a very unique texture. I wish you guys could touch it through the camera because it is so whipped. It's actually crazy. I was not expecting it to be this whipped and this silicone-y. It's very silicone based, it feels like. But I really liked it, and I felt like it was comfortable on the lips. I do feel like I'll continue to use these. I'm not sure, like, I know the formula's not really comparable, but I kind of feel like I like the Rare Beauty ones a little bit more right now for that same very matte blurred effect. I just think they're maybe a little easier to use. So overall, I feel like it was a really good makeup day. For me, if I'm thinking about like what I would use on like more of an everyday basis, honestly, the thing that impressed me the most this time was the complexion products. So for me, I'm excited to reach for this Lawless Forget the Filler foundation again. I do feel like it was lightweight, but the coverage was there. The texture was not what I expected, and I've been hearing good things about it, and I'm really glad that I finally tried it. So I really loved this. I also really loved the powder. I feel like this is something that I could probably see myself using on more of a daily basis. I really did actually like the Bobbi Brown ones. We'll see how well that sticks into my routine. But I feel like overall, these two things are what are really standing out for me as things that I could reach for over and over and over, and things that I feel like were the main reason why my complexion looked so nice today. Again, I feel like my makeup day was a good one. I didn't have anything that I disliked. The only thing that threw me off a little bit initially was the shade of the bronzer, which again, I could change that, so maybe I'll try that another time. But I would love to hear from you guys if you've tried any of these products, which ones really stood out to you, or if there's something that I tried here that you were really intrigued by or you thought looked nice as I was testing it. I'd love to hear that as well. I always love trying new things. Sometimes it can get a little like overwhelming when I try a full face of a bunch of new stuff, but honestly these days I feel like almost every launch is a good product. So it's kind of more about just figuring out what you like personally and what you feel like, you know, is missing in your collection or what you want to add into your everyday routine. And for me, I feel like these two are where I'm really, really excited. So yeah, that's it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope you found it helpful. Just for fun, let's put the before and after of when I had freshly applied makeup to now so that you guys can really see how things wore. Obviously, it's been a long wear test day, so I'm sure things have faded, but overall, I feel like it's been a really good makeup day. And I must say, I actually did really like the eyeshadow today. It's been a long time since I've worn eyeshadow, and I kept feeling like, I don't know, really cute in my eyeshadow. So maybe I'll start wearing a little more eyeshadow these days. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. I love you all so much, and I hope you're doing well wherever you are. I hope you have the best day, and I will see you in my next video. Love you. Bye.